Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna discuss something regarding a sort of tier list. I don't like to talk much about tier lists itself in a normal way, like a lot of people do. I think more about efficiency. That's why, if you see, I just created 5 different classes, okay? And I don't say S tier, A tier, B tier, etc. I'll just write what is very strong on paper but also easy to use, who is just very strong on paper, but then they require some execution, so there are some barriers, who is strong because in this game I don't feel there are a lot of weak characters. Actually, there aren't, I think. So who is strong and easy, and who is strong but requires some like technicism or anyway has a sort of execution barrier or even 50-50 barriers that he has to overcome in terms of mind game. So yeah, this way. And then who is not competitive. I want to start first with the non-competitive. I'll just put one character here, and it's not because she's weak, it's because literally it is a clone character and is weaker than the counterpart. And of course, I'm talking about Panda. So Panda is basically a weaker version of Kuma. Okay. Yes, she has some unique stuff, but Kuma unique stuff is better than Panda unique stuff. So if I am a competitive player and I want to play a character, I can play literally every character in this game and be competitive. That's totally fine. I can win for sure at least at national level with every character. Okay? I can, 100%. Maybe I cannot on a worldwide, but on national level, unless you're maybe from Pakistan or, but even in Korea, I think you actually can win with everybody. So yeah, every character is viable. But there is no sense at all to use Panda when Kuma exists, because Kuma is just a better version of him. So this is why I don't think Panda can be considered a competitive character. Now, let's discuss about the rest. Should we go in order? I think we should. So very strong and easy. This tier is very similar to a tier to what people consider normally the S plus tier. And the easiest choice for me to make here is to put Dragunov here. The way Dragunov play in this game is really autopilot. Every single move he has is with way less risk compared to the reward. So there are too many moves that are so good for him. You can play him without risk as long as you don't use down back 3 plus 4, and it still has so many good lows anyway, like down 2, so that's not a big issue. You can play him risky if you want, and it does a tons of damage, like again down back 3 plus 4. That low is crazy good. um, he has some of the best movement in the game, so you don't even require to have the cleanest movement ever because the character itself move very well. Even if your backdash is not perfect, you can do it very clean with him. His sidestep is very good. He has a good, maybe one of the best hit engager in back 4-3 because it's a 14 frame mid high that has a full launch when it's used as a hit dasher, and he has also a mid variance in back 4-2, which is safe. Um, he has a very strong 10 frame counter hit that is a hit confirmable, so it doesn't matter, he's minus 14. And he's a hit engager and wall splat. So that is like something that is always a threat. A 10 frame counter in a game where all counter hits were nerfed is a very strong threat. And on hit, of course, it does so much cheap damage with 1-1 if you cancel it that I don't know, is a 10 frame almost uninterruptible because of the speed. 3 jab string that does a tons of damage when blocked on hit, and it gives him advantage. So one of the best hit in the game, one of the best movement in the game. Low execution barrier. It doesn't have anything crazy in terms of execution in this game. The running input was simplified a lot compared to Tekken 7. At the moment, there is nobody, in my opinion, that is at the level of Dragunov when it comes to gameplay. Like in terms of strength and easy to use, is number one. The other one that I have to mention, of course, is Azucena. Azucena is always considered by everybody since the release. She has always been considered the easiest character in the game. And her game plan, in fact, is kind of like simple, very simple. She has maybe even less execution barrier than Dragunov. At least a running move now risk more than Dragunov. That's something, but it's faster. So to be honest, I'm not sure which one has the best one because Dragunov launching counter, but Azucena is faster. They're amazing, both of them. She has by far less damage in combo than Dragunov. I forgot to mention Dragunov damage in combo is one of the highest, if not the highest in the game right now. So he basically is top one in almost everything, except maybe sending punishers. But for the rest, is seriously number one in everything. But yes, Azucena has a very easy game plan. She plays a lot offensive, which is a plus in this game, at least for now. Since of the cheap damage and how everything work. Yeah, she's good. She has a very strong 10 frame punisher. Um, as I said, her game plan is very, very easy. She has some of the best basic tool in the game, down for 114, running 3, down back 4 as a low, down back 3 as a low. She's complete. She has everything that you want for a character and is super easy to use. So her movement is not top notch. It's not the best movement in the game, but still, like, she's easy. She's very strong. She has to belong to this category. Another character that I can consider for this. Keep in mind, it doesn't mean that is as strong as the others, but belongs in the same category. I feel Fang. Fang, I think, actually is slightly less powerful than the other two. It might be slightly less powerful than Dragunov, maybe on pair with Azucena. Probably on pair with Azucena. He has better damage than Azucena for sure in combo. He is very good with combo damage in this game. He has a crazy good wall carry, which was crazy because if you think of previous Tekken games, at least until Tekken 7 Season 3 when they introduced down forward for 3 for him. Before that, Fang's biggest weakness was his combo damage and his juggles in general. He had a very bad wall carry. It was always like Fang weakness, and boom, suddenly he has one of the best wall carry in the game now because of the way up 4-3 works and how well it works with the hit burst. So good damage, amazing basic tools. Fang Jeb is very, very strong in terms of hitbox. He has an amazing low hit down for because of the way it leaves Fang at 0. But Fang has also a follow up in down for 1+2. And Fang has very strong, fast moves. For example, back 1, 10 frame. Back 4, 12 frame. The throws, nobody think or talk about it. But the way throws function in this game made down 4 into up forward 1+2, which is the 1+2 throw of Fang, something very strong. It will win versus generic down for 1. And it tracks. So down 4 gives Fang almost like advantage, you know. So I really think it belongs to this category. In hit is a hit game is very dangerous. It doesn't have a very strong hit smash, though it's usable. But I feel like his real hit smash is the shoulder. Like the shoulder cancelled as a hit dash is super strong. It gives him a control of the space in neutral. You have to think this is a 13 frame move that cover half of the screen. And normally is launch punishable. Well, it does advantage on block and it guaranteed forward 3 if it enter with a hit dash for like 50 or 60 damage. I don't know. It's so good. So definitely Fang, one of the strongest character in the game, and also is not hard. It's not as easy as Azucena, I would say, or Dragunov, but definitely not a hard character. Okay. Another one that make this very strong in this list, and this might be controversial. I feel in the previous game this would have been a very wrong take, but now no. King has always been one of the hardest character in the game when it comes to Tekken. Always. Tekken 5, it was maybe the only character that required you to literally master the Instant Shining Wizard for combos, and trust me, it was way harder than now. You had like very strict timing. You didn't have anything like bounce or anything like that. It was super hard. And then you had always to play with all the throws and the crouch dash, the wave dash that was not normal. So King has always been a very technician character. Tekken 8, well, King is one of the easiest character in the game to use, and it's very powerful. You can play him very risky because he has a very good rewards, even if you play him risky. But you can play him conservative as always. You can still play King the way you played in Tekken 7, which is like the hard way. And I still feel that King is the most powerful King. But in a tournament scenario, you can literally bring King as your pocket character and still do good. Because he can play so much 50-50 that have no counterplay if not guessing. Especially as I said in a FT2 scenario where everybody's nervous. So a lot of things come just to, like a straight coin flip situation. Well, King excel in this game. He has very strong tools. One of the best low in the game, which is for one neutral too, which is a sort of. It's not normal that a character that is a grappler has a very strong low by design. Normally in a fighting game, and normally for Tekken also until Tekken 7, this was not the case. Think about King. Uh, think about even Marduk. Marduk, yes, has down 4, which was very good, but it was launch punishable. King for Neutral 2 was never not launch punishable. Like it was at least minus 14, so some characters could launch it in the previous interactions. Now, no, minus 13. Only Kazuya can launch it. So they give him a great low. He has some of the best counter tools in the game. This is also something new for King because yes, King counters were decent before, but basically they went untouched in this game compared to the rest of the cast. Well, everybody got nerfed in their counter moves. King didn't. And so this automatically, like, like if everybody is at this level, but everybody get nerfed and King was like at this level, everybody got nerfed until this level. And now King is here. So King is one of the best, if not the best, counter character in the game. Which is crazy, right? I think maybe Lee or Lo can talk to be at the same level, maybe Nina. But in general, nobody has a 13 frame mid counter launcher that is safe like King, and it confirmed. So yeah, that's it. As I said, you can play him with like the way you were doing before, with like chain throws mix up with the crouch dash, etc. But now, thanks to the heat, especially, you just have to assess hit with King, and it's guessing time. Like the mid from the running, it's safe and give him like 60 damage. The RKO does 50 damage, 45 damage. I'm not sure, but it does too much. Definitely too much to be unbreakable. And his recovery time is also not that long. So sometimes if you try to duck and punish, as I said, especially in a tournament scenario, keep in mind how many times I mention tournaments, because for me, tier lists have sense only when you talk about tournaments. I don't care about something that is not belonging to tournaments. That's the way I see the game as a competitive player. Okay, the way I see as a competitive player, I need to do well in tournaments. Doesn't matter if then I lose to you 10-0 in free play. In free play, I need to improve. In tournament, I need to win. So in a tournament scenario, you might fail to punish King RKO if you duck it because of tournament nerves and everything, because the recovery time, yeah, it's launch punishable. You can do it, but you miss one frame, you literally will be blocked by King after, and that's very very bad. So yeah, I think King is very strong. Oh, I didn't talk about the his mesh. The his mesh is so long and does so much damage. It is just very, very, very good. Very good. Now, we have another character at least for to put into the very strong and easy category, and I feel that character is June. So June is not an hard character; is not hard at all to use, and she is very very safe. The way she can play is very very annoying because she doesn't have to commit to anything basically, because thanks to the fact that she removes some of her health, she can have safe launchers, like down forward two, like forward two. Her hit is also very good. She can recover life. The hit smash does too much, in my opinion. Like it's fast, 13 frame if I remember correctly. It was splat, so a fast was splat hit smash is already something good. But plus, she also recover all the gray health she had. So if not all, a good amount, even on block. So you can understand the hit smash is normal that people consider this the strongest or one of the strongest, at least hit smash in the game. She has a decent counter counter game, especially from full crouch because of the way down forward two works. Full crouch down forward two grant June, if I remember correctly, plus 15 or plus 14, and June has a 14 frame where sending Punisher that launch, so she does huge damage from there. Um, she has many variables from the strings to play, and is a character that if you don't study, she can literally steamroll on you with strings. She has some limits. In the moment you start to actually study the character, you can understand that she has some limits in the strings. Like there are some block strings that are at least option selectable. Like you can always do at least a dig jab to punish if June stops and to interrupt if June continues. So if you study this, you can limit a little June game, but then she has so many good tools that are just basic. Like the down three is very good as a low. Side step 3 or side step 4, I don't remember now. It's a mid hit engager plus that does cheap damage. Very strong move. Um, very good. She's very good when it comes to wave punishing thanks to forward 2, which can she just, if she's not if she doesn't feel confident, she can just cancel into forward 2 1 plus 2 to get good amount of damage at it engager while being safe. And after full crouch down forward 2, the situation is very good for her because if somebody just do a move that is like a normal down for 1, she can trade with wire sending 2 and get a full combo. So she is very dangerous if you don't know a lot of her things. And in general, I feel even if you start to know her, she still remain a character that is very, very strong and easy to use. Her punishment is super good. She has a 10 frame Punisher that was splat. Yes, she loses some life, but she does like 35 damage, I think, at least for a 10 frame and was splat from far. That's crazy. Overall, a great character. So, as I said, this doesn't mean it's the top 5 of the game, okay? But probably for the way we play in tournament, where it doesn't matter all if your character is strong, but also how easy it is, how many, how it's easy to avoid to make mistakes. Well, probably this might be top 5 for that. Let's continue. Other characters that are very strong. Um, I can think of characters that are very strong but not that easy. You can think Reina. Reina is not very easy to use, but Reina is definitely very strong. Forward 2 might be the best mid in the game after Dragunov back 4. For somebody, it can be even better than Dragunov back 4, not for me. But yeah, it's super strong. She has electric. She can play in so many different ways. She can play basic Mishima style. She can play with variants with the Sentai stance. She can just roll down and do cheesy stuff. She has high crush moves. She has a hop kick that evades. The down for 2 can be used as a good with Punisher. Her damage in combo, especially if paired with hit burst and hit dash in the same combo, because of the way it works with the stomp, she has the highest hit burst into hit dash damage in the game. Because somehow the stomp for her scales is 70% and not 50% like the rest. So her combo damage is crazy high without walls because of this. Everybody say her hit is not that good, but considering how good she is in pressuring, having cheat damage on even jabs, well, that's very powerful for me. So I wouldn't consider her hit to be weak because of the fact she can keep going aggressive during hit all the time with strings that have delays, and you have to block because down for 1-1-2 becomes a safe, hit dash, and is a great mid check. She has some of the best punishers in the game as well. She's good in punishers for basically everything. 10 frame, her 1-1-2 string is good. And she has a very good 50-50. Risky also for her, if you know how to sidewalk the mid that does chip damage, but in general is a very, very strong 10 frame punisher. She has a very good 12 frame punisher into 1+2, which also was flat and does 32 damage and it's long. It also kinda go very further during the animation of the move itself. 13 frame, he has the down for 1-2 twin piston. 14 frame, she has the electric, which I know it's hard, so I will not consider it when it comes to tournament settings unless you're a beast. From 15 frame, I think she has down for 2. I might be wrong, it might be 16, but I think it's actually 15. But where is she's very good also is her while standing punishers. She has while standing for 4, which is very good to use, very, very good as a punisher because of the fact she entered the stance after, and on one side you cannot step the hit engager follow up that is safe, the 2. At 13 frame, she has a hit engager in where standing 1, and where standing 1 alone is -10, but for the pushback sometimes it's actually safe. So it's a great move in general, but where standing 1, 73 is actually her 13 frame punisher, which is a hit engager. Very strong, very strong. As I say, their damage is very, very good. She doesn't have the strongest lows in the game. That is the main reason she's not considered as easy as the other, I feel. She has to think more. For basically, when a character is not easy, it's not only the execution, but also do I need to think much before doing a move? This counts so much because it brings to you hesitation. And Tekken, especially in tournament, is a game where if you hesitate, you are giving up all your chances to attack, and that's bad. It's bad. It's just bad. So yeah, I feel like she might have this problem. Probably her strongest love are sidestep 4 and down back 4 because are sorta safe. But then if you want some bigger damage, you have to commit to the Hell's Whip or to down back 2, which I don't recommend. I think down back 4 is better than down back 2. And yes, this is Reina, very, very strong. Another character that is very strong, but not easy is Nina. Nina, I feel on paper, she might be top 2, like right after Dragunov. Because I will put her above for sure, Reina. She has some of the best damage in the game. She has some of the best counter in the game. She still has the 11 frame counter rate. She has a lot of damage during chip. She doesn't have to risk much. And the combo damage, as I said, is very good. And she also has a lot of gray health removal mechanic. Dragunov also has in the tackle. Nina has more. She has many throws that totally remove the gray health. She has multi throws. She has a very strong armor in forward 1+2 that is also a hit engager. And when she's in hit, can be used without much risk to just go and go aggressive on opponent. Some of the best lows, down back 3 is very good. Down 3, 4-3 is also very good actually in this game. Down back 4-3, which is a move nobody used before because of how minus it was, is just minus 13 now, and is a full launcher in counter. For one of the best mid launcher in the game. She has a stable down 4-2. Side step 2 is a 13 frame mid launcher. Her sidestep one game with advantage. In a game with chip damage, insanely good. Magic 4, as I said before. She has a Magic 4 with 4-3, and that does full combo. You have to commit for the second hit, but she has variations. So she doesn't risk too much. Her down for 1-2 is almost at the level of Azucena down for 1-1-4 because it's a mid 13 frame that jails. And if I remember correctly, it's -1 or 0 on block, but I might be wrong there. And she has follow-ups. She can also do down for 1-1-2 into sidestep. Her sidestep 4 is a low that sidestep 4 or sidestep 3. I think sidestep 4. It's a low with a high follow-up that if you don't block immediately, and this might function as very good at low level or also in tournament, uh, you actually need to press back right after you got hit by the sidestep 4, or you will not block the high follow-up. She has one of the best wall carry in the game, and an amazing combo damage. She can do with ease without any execution, and this is something that you have to consider because Nina is a high execution character if you want to reach 80 damage for a down forward 2. But you can reach 74 damage with the standard combo of down forward 2, and it's something I can do, and I'm not a Nina player. You just have to use down forward 2, up forward 4, up forward 3, down forward 3 to back 3+4, 3+4, while standing 1, put a sequel forward 4, 3, 1+2. That's 74 damage. No hit used, no rage used. Amazing wall carry. The pistol, the guns can literally break the walls from far, which is crazy as well. So great character overall. She might actually be top 2. She paid the fact that Azucena is way easier to use. Fang is way easier to use. So on paper, she might be just below Dragunov. But when it comes to the fact that you have to count how easy a character is to use, well, these characters are way easier, require way less, if you want brain, way less RAM. You can focus better on the whole game when you play these characters because it's kind of easy to think about the offense. It's not the same for these characters. That's the main issue here. But on paper, I believe she might be top 2. Other characters that are, I believe, to be very, very strong, but not that easy, same reasons as the other Jin. Jin is very strong. He might have the best punishers in the game overall. Great 10 frame punisher, good 12 frame punisher, good 13 frame punisher, electric theoretically at 14, 15 frame Kankan is very good, and while sending he has while sending 4-4, which is amazing. The 13 frame new one is broken while sending 1-3 something because it's a full launcher with a floor break or floor blast, which is crazy. 14 frame in launch, so literally is while sending punishers are the best in the game, easily. He also is a character that doesn't have to commit to risk much because he has one of the best hit engager move in the game, if not the best in forward 2. Forward 2 of Jin is a mid, tracks very well. From a wave that she tracks exceptionally well. It just creates him a lot of pushback on blocks, so basically you cannot punish him or you cannot bring pressure to Jin after you block the first one because of the pushback. It doesn't have at the moment counterplay. That move doesn't have counterplay. It's very fast to come from the wave dash as well, so it's hard. You cannot on reaction power crush it. You have to do it on a read. And in general, it's very good. He has some cheese in this game as well because of the way the omen stance function now, like from back forward 2-3. Before it was always -13. Now back forward 2-3 is not -13 anymore. He can actually win versus you with a throw versus your down for 1. So you can play him a lot with this 50-50 stance scenario. They're not in their favor much, in his favor much, but you can definitely play with that. He has some borderline seeable moves, and like being able to see these moves or not makes the difference of why Jin can be here or here. To be honest, I could put Jin here because except for the electric, it doesn't have much execution barrier. It's more about how can you use your lows, especially down 2. Down 2 is a very good low, one of the best low in the game, but it's minus 14 and is borderline seeable. If you fight versus somebody that can see it, Jin has to belong here. Because you have to think a lot more about the low still. If somebody doesn't see it, boom, Jin is here. 100%, 100%. It's not hard at all to use at that point. You can rely a lot on just big moves. You can do from distance 442 or down 2, which is very stupid. It becomes almost king levels, king level of stupidity. And the other thing that is very easy for Jin to do is playing with 2-1 right now. 2-1 I feel is a little busted because 2-1-4 on counter it grants you a grounded hit and it has no counter indication. You cannot step it unless it's delayed. If it's not, if it's delayed, still you cannot interrupt it, and it's safe on block. And Jin can just 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 all the time because there is the third one coming. I feel 2-1-4 should have some counterplay in the third one, or making -10 or making steppable. But it has to because right now Jin can just dictate the pace with a 10 frame move. You know, just 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Especially in heat, it does chip damage. 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Very very strong. A reason that it should be here though. What? Sorry guys. Whoa, that was my luck. A reason why I put Jin here is one because I tend to believe a lot of players actually can see down to, especially at high level. And the fact that it's not easy to use the parry in this game like it was before. It's way more punishable. You can feel it versus strong players. So yeah, I think overall in my list it's here. Probably if I had to make a beginner list or a mid-level list, Jin could be here. But at the highest level, Jin belongs here for me. Other characters that are similar to this, probably yes, Devil Jin and Kazuya, both of them. These characters are very very strong. They have amazing 50-50s. They have amazing mid in 442. All three of them. Like right now, for me in power level, they're very similar. I would say the most complete one is Jin. The most coin flip one, so maybe better in tournament actually, could be him. I mean, better in tournament. Wait, better in tournament. I think Jin because you can play him very low risk. But if you are versus somebody stronger than you, that you feel you cannot beat with the base, with basic moves, then Kazuya or Devil Jin, because they love coin flip situations. So you can beat somebody stronger than you in a first to two, just forcing 50-50s with these two. And Kazuya is probably better overall than Devil Jin, but Devil Jin has such a powerful hit smash that if you and also combo damage I think is higher than Kazuya. If you master both of them, probably at high level, at the highest level, Devil Jin might be stronger. But for 99% of player base, so not on paper, but in reality, Kazuya might be stronger. It's a little easier than Devil Jin, I feel. And his game plan is easier than Devil Jin for sure. And these 50-50 are more immediate. Like, you can do them continuously. You know, like, you know, after the hair whip, there's a vortex. You know it. That's it. With Devil Jin, you know, it's a little different. Devil Jin might be better on paper when it comes to the usage of electric, the 112, and the fact he has a back four. Well, Kazuya has only 4-4-4, so Devil Jin can use it more defensively than Kazuya. He still has a up four, which is like a very risky move to do, but a jolly that Kazuya absolutely miss. 4-4-2 is kind of equivalent. But yeah, the hair whip of Devil Jin does more damage. His hit smash is superior. So and his combo damage is higher. So on paper, Devil Jin might be better than Kazuya, but for the way I feel when I play against them, I feel Kazuya can be played by more people. It's a little easier. Okay? But probably these three are around the same level. As I said, Jin is way safer than the other two. These two are very coin flip guys. Very, very heavy coin flip guys. Other characters that I feel are very strong, not easy, I would say Yoshi. Yoshi has something broken right now in the guard break. Yoshi gun break make him have it's guaranteed. Okay, it's literally guaranteed both in open space and the wall, and it makes him do one of the highest damage in the game because either you take the guaranteed hit, which does a tons of damage, or if you get up, Yoshi has a free 14 frame move, so he can do back to two, and if he's in hit, is as it actually has a full combo from there. So this makes Yoshi seriously right now a little broken. He might be probably stronger than the other that I put here, at least at this level. It's not that easy to use, but it's not even that hard. Once you understand how his flash mind game works, okay, I think like once you understand that, oh, this character is crazy. Without stance is probably it might be better than Nina, but without stance. But you have to think that you have to first sorry, without sword. You have to think that you have to actually start around every time with the sword because 1-1 become broken to abysmal level without the sword. Is a 10 frame. You cannot parry the second. It has no basically nothing can be done to prevent it. No counterplay. It's a move without counterplay, which launch with a second hit on counter on if he has no sword, and at least he can knock up and his natural combo if the first one hit and he recovered life. Not only gray health. That's a great thing about Yoshi. He doesn't only recover gray health, he recover normal health as well. So overall, amazing. His flash is super good. Uh, his hit is decent. I wouldn't say he has the best hit, but compared to the fact that, I mean, if you think about the fact that he can do a guard break into back to two into another full combo, that's something very big. So I think like Yoshi can definitely be here, and because of the way everything works, is probably at least like I would say one, two, three, top five. Yeah, it might be top five. It's actually easier than Nina. So on paper, I feel Nina is stronger. On practical, is not. Nina is not stronger. Like on practical level. So I would say probably if I have to do top five, one, like not on paper, but for a tournament settings, one, two, three, four, five, probably this five. Apart Dragunov, the other four are not even in order for me. Other characters that are uh, very strong, not easy to use for sure. Ling is not easy to use, but she's a 50-50 powerhouse. She can counter everything when it comes to. She has counterplays where others don't because of the way Phoenix work, the way she has an 8 frame blocker in back one of strings and sometimes as a punisher. Um, so yeah, she definitely is here. She has amazing damage. I feel she's stronger than Mishima's. Amazing damage, really amazing damage. Stronger than all Mishimas, yeah. Um, and like with not much counterplay to that because the like on hit the way that she synergizes with hit is one of the best in the game. Like you can literally set up combos after tailspin, after tornado. You can do the her hypnotist 3, I think it's the move that gives a hard spin into the hit burst. Then you reach the wall, and then at the wall you can do forward 2-1, 1+2 up back 4. One of the highest, if not the highest damage in the game when it comes to wall. Because of that, of course she was a little the hit there, but she does so much damage, and after that she's 1 50-50 away to kill you with her hip. Hypno 2 or Hypno 3, I think is the low. So until the Hypnotis low doesn't get at least minus 14 or at least 13, she will be so powerful with her 50-50. that move has to go at least at 13. I would say 40 probably. Because it's a 40 damage low that is invisible and can be mixed with a mid that actually launch and let her stay on plus. She's also decent when it comes to punishers, because except maybe the 10 frame one, which is only I think 1 down 2, which is good because she goes back turn into whatever she wants. But she has a very strong 13 frame hit engager in back for 2, I think is the move, or back for 1. Um, and a 14 frame she actually launch with 3, which is something people don't consider much, but she can launch. And she can punish armor with 1 immune, which is something nobody actually think about, but it's so strong. Think about it. She has a free launcher for every armor she blocks that is at least -12. So every mid armor in the game, basically, almost. Her while standing is also kind of decent. Her while standing for being a knockdown, I feel for this game is so important. Because think about how many cheap lows there are that are only -11 or 12. Ling itself, Ling herself, she has, as I say, the hypnotist 3 or 4. I don't remember now the input, but the low, the hypnotist low, she has only -12. Having a while standing for the knockdown is so important in this game at 11 frame compared to before. So like she's really good in that, and she has a decent 13 frame in while standing one as well. She lacks good launchers from while standing, uh, and I feel that's alright considering the character. She's a 14 frame. She has while standing 1+2 1+2, which is good, but she doesn't have a launcher until 16 frame in the hockey. So I think is correct. I hope she doesn't get any stronger launcher in the future from while standing. Hopefully they will not make it, because I think it's a good weakness to have by design. But yeah, great character overall. Now let's discuss about characters that I feel, did they miss somebody there? I feel I might have to create a new categories, because I don't feel all the characters here belong to the same category. To be honest, um, no, wait, what am I doing? Can I add one category? No. How can I? Can I? I don't know. I want to actually add other row. Okay, other row. Other row. Okay. So viable and easy. Viable. I would say, as I say, there are um, no characters that are not viable. Even Panda is viable. It's just nonsense that it exists because there is Kuma. So now let's talk about strong and easy. Strong and easy. Strong and easy. I think this is. I might actually put these 3 now that I created this category here. At least Jin maybe is very strong, but these 2, yeah, might be here. Okay, so um, regarding strong and easy, characters that I need absolutely to put here are at least Leo. Okay, Leo is not that hard. Um, he has incredible damage, one of the highest damage in the game. Good hit engagers, especially having a while standing for the best while standing for in the game actually. While standing for 1+2, being a hit engager is very good, very good. Good work carry, complete. It has everything. It has a parry. I fought a Leo in Saudi Arabia that was so good in the. I fought him in the red arena stage. Man, it's worse than fighting Giz in Tekken 7 when it comes to parry, because the parry make the floor blast explode. He had so much damage after every parry connected. It's crazy. Uh, super strong, I would say. Seriously a great character. Other characters that at least belong here, and probably better than Leo, and not that far from these actually. You have to think these are very very similar. Okay, but Aliza is very good. I'm using her these days, and she's very easy. She's not Azucena level of easy or King level of easy, but at least June level of easy, probably easier than June. And she has crazy damage with chainsaw. I still have to understand 100% how to use the chainsaw myself, but definitely she's very easy to use. She lack a little when it comes to sending Punisher. That's by far her weakest point, but her hit with the cheap damage with the chainsaw is very high. So if you're able to enter uh, chainsaws, uh, like to transit successfully into chainsaw in the game during neutral but yourself, that's very good. And there is a thing that is totally underrated of Elise, in my opinion. Uh, when she is in hit, she can activate chainsaw using armor, and this works like a Gigas armor, like King, armor now. So you can actually absorb and punish moves from the opponents. Nobody used it that I saw. Nobody that I saw successfully use it yet. I feel it's worth investigating if this can be done like with the lab or anything. Can be done like in real matches on some strings or something to make them punishable. Uh, very 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 interesting mechanic. Her chainsaw chip damage is very very good when it comes to hit. So definitely she's good in that. She doesn't have the best wall damage in the game. She keep it easy there. She just doesn't need it. Like for the way the game it is, it's normal that Aliza doesn't do much damage at the wall. She has very decent damage open space because of the tornado damage. Like up for one tornado does so much damage. But she doesn't have great wall carry. She doesn't have great combos at the wall. She doesn't have even a very good combo game. It's just like she's effective with the chainsaw. You have to. She's a little more dimensional. I feel that might be her weakness. It's very easy to use, but it's also very easy to fight. Alisa, in my opinion, it's not a character that make you play another game. You can always play Tekken with Alisa, even with a cheap damage. That's what I feel about her. Uh, it's easy to play against her. That's the only reason I cannot put her at the same level of Azucena or Dragunov. Like Azucena, Dragunov, or Fang, I absolutely need to play on a very high intensity in defense to keep up with them. Arisa doesn't force me to do that, so I cannot put her at the same level of them. Doesn't mean she's a lot weaker than them. She's not, but I cannot put her at the same level of them. Um, the great thing about her is her movement and their basic moves are so good. She may be the character that has to play, has to risk the less of every other character in the game. It might be. To be honest, it might be. Down 4 is an amazing low, one of the best low in the game. It does so much damage on itself. It has a high follow up that is 0 and jail on hit. So that one plus her step and her safe mid, just down for 1, back 3, uh, forward 2. She can play super safe. Even forward 2-1 is a hit engager that is only -10 and is very, very, very strong. Natural hit does a lot of damage. Enter chainsaws, and she can only do forward 2 and enter chainsaws as well. That's probably the best way to enter chainsaw. And if you do the follow up, it's only -10, so you don't risk much. So that's over good. Other characters that I feel they're strong. For sure, Victor. Victor is not that far from Azucena. Okay, think about it. They are very similar. They have a running 3-2 for Azucena, running 2 for Victor. Good running move. They have a very good, both of them, a very good armor that is a hit engager that is high and very fast. they're kind of similar. I feel Azucena has way better lows. So that's the main reason she's higher. And the fact that Victor Cheese with the stance is very risky. Riskier than Azucena. And like everything when he goes into stance can be walked to the left except very risky moves like the double low. But the biggest problem, in my opinion, is the fact that uh, when Victor cancels the stance, okay, you know, to avoid you to press, he cannot block. He cannot block. And to avoid you to press, he has to do a follow up. But the follow up itself, even on counter, it doesn't give him a full launcher. It just gives him a knockdown. So at wall, yes, it's worse play. But outside wall, it's not very menacing, right? So Victor has to take huge risks because if I block that, he's minus 14. And if he doesn't do it, I can launch him. If I got hit by that, I just get 25 damage. So I'm not like risking enough to stop him to be scared myself of the cancel. He's the one that should be scared of canceling, not me. He's risking more than me. Which I totally agree with this approach. I hope it was used more because entering the stance it's a Victor decision. I'm not the defender is not deciding to enter the stance. It's Victor that decides. So he has to know that he has to commit to something very risky, and only if he's very good in the mind game, he should get the edge of me. So I feel in that sense that Victor is a very, very honest character. And I like it. I wish more characters had this approach because I really like what they did there. Yes, Victor has a menacing stance, but he actually risks more than you. So the Victor player really has to have big balls to to commit to the stance. He has to be so sure he's better than you in the coin flip situation mind game to commit to that. I really like that. So it's also very easy. That's why I put him here. I think in tournament is a very strong character because he can play with a very strong, very easy gameplay. Running two into 1+2, absolutely killing thing that is zero risk basically. He can play with the stance. He can play with some counter like with Sunny too. Overall, a great tournament character. Great tournament character. In Pakistan, is considered very very good for tournaments. Top five maybe. I cannot think it's top five because I feel there are characters that are just way better than him in everything. But it's good. He's good, absolutely. So I have to put him here. Other characters that I feel are strong and easy, I have to put Eddie. Now I played a little versus Eddie. Is totally different from the character he used to be before. What I mean is way less cheesy, way less stance based, or at least the stance function different than before. You don't have to know when you can pick up the negativa, when you cannot pick up the negativa, etc. Negativa is a distance. Head is way better than before in basic tools. I feel he has a very good down for one. I feel he has great basic buttons now. Back one is good. Down for one is good. Down for now with the fact that he has a guaranteed with the fact that all the down four in the game became minus 15, like this guy, this move. But he has a follow up, and the follow up grants him a ground throw, a crouch throw into hit. Uh, it means that his down four is superior to the generic down four of other characters. So he has a great down four as well now. Is less strong in the things that were cheesy before, like I don't know, down back 1+2, for example, the move that used to disappear. But overall, I feel he's very, very, very strong. He has good damage. He can play a lot of 50-50s if he wants. But like in the moment you study him a little, you can feel that the 50-50 are quite honest. Okay. Uh, he still has a great 13 frame Warsaning Punisher, which is great for him. His Warsaning 4 was improved. So he has great Warsaning Punishers actually. For Block Punisher, is okay. is okay. The 10 frame one at the wall is very scary. Outside the wall is still okay. Um, I think he's a good character, to be honest, a very good character. And the fact that people might still not be used to strong eddies means that at EVO Japan we might have some surprise with Eddie. I feel we will not see only Dragunov and Fang and Azucena at EVO Japan. There are a lot of Japanese King players that are strong, so King has a good chance to appear in top 8. Um, Rain has a good chance to appear in top 8, in my opinion. Heady has some chance. Heady has some chance. Victor also has some chance. Other characters that are strong, at least strong, she might actually belong to very strong. Lily. Sorry, strong and easy. Sorry, Lily. Lily actually, oh, I don't know. They're kind of same. All of these guys are kind of same. Might be better than Eddie. Uh, Lily is not hard at all. It's a very easy character to use. Uh, and in this game, what I think she's very strong at is the fact that she doesn't have to commit to risky moves. Um, in a game that is all about aggression, Lily can be aggressive without risking much, just like Aliza, if you think about it. They're very similar. Very, very similar. Not only in the face, not only the face is a copy paste, but also the way they play is very similar. They both have great movement. Lily has way better combos than Aliza, especially with the wall and wall carry. But Aliza might be even easier than Lily. Lily at least has to play a little with her back turn stance. Aliza has the chainsaw instead. So she has a better chip damage, but Lily has, I don't know, better 50-50 from back turn. The fact that we're sending 1 plus 2 is, sorry, back turn 1 plus 2 is a mid launcher that is punishable now is balanced by the fact that she has crazy good loads in back turn 2, which is minus 12, if I remember correctly, and back turn 3, if I remember correctly, they're both minus 12 or 13 maximum. So she's super good in that. Super good in that. She has very good 10 frame Punisher as always in down 4 in a 2-4. A very good west standing for Punisher. The 11 frame we're standing for with knockdown. Um, from front, her lows are not the best. Down 3 is good, but in general, her lows are not the best. But from back turn, she's a 50-50 powerhouse. That can play safe. That's the greatest thing about. I don't feel the front hit smash is not very good, but the back turn one, considering she has a considering she still has the mid launcher in 1 plus 2, oh well, that is very, very. Other characters that let me talk about. Strong and easy. Hmm, probably Lars is the last one to belong to this category. Is strong because like he has very good punishers when it comes to standing, especially. He has a very powerful hit, very, very powerful hit. It's easy because it's just easy. Like Lars is super easy, and these stance transitions now have very little counterplay because of the change they did to Silent Entry 3. He has good damage, very good damage. Yeah, I cannot say too much about him. He's probably the perfect poster boy character when it comes to easiness. Like you want a poster boy character that is not too easy, you go Jin. You want the poster boy character that is easy, you go Lars. That's how I feel. Okay. Uh, Great damage. As always, his low are not the best, but still he can play and he has a sort of decent movement. I feel he's better than Tekken 7 movement, especially the backpack. Uh, so yeah, he can also with punish pretty well. Good character. And also up forward 3+4 in tournament is crazy good. The up forward 3+4 jump. Safe, crazy, safe and crush everything. Very good. For strong character, I'll put my beloved Shaheen here. I mean, character right now uh, is super strong. I honestly feel he plays very well also into some matchups. Like I feel into Fang is good. It's very good. Um, and he can play with everybody. Doesn't have a matchup where he is weak. I feel a little maybe Xiaoyu. I don't like to play versus Xiaoyu, but that might be me. Uh, but in general, the slide is super good. One of the best low in the game easily. The full crush down forward 4 is super good. Not at the level of Fang full crush down forward 4 1. That is broken. Shiny is not broken, but it's very good. He also struggled a little with Jin, I think, because all his and in general the people with were sending for 14 frame launchers from crouching because his main lows are all at least minus 14, except down 4, but his down 4 is not usable as much as other lows. Yeah. So yeah, it's good overall. Great slide, good damage, balanced damage, I would say. Is one of the best in the game when it comes to approach Tekken, but with Tekken 8 mechanics, because he has a guard break that is carry in hit. He can remove your gray health all the time with the back 2, which is a very good 15 frame safe mid, or with forward back 2, which is a 14 frame Punisher that can be done after the guard break. Because it becomes 13 during hit. Yeah, overall, very good character. On paper, might be even superior to these guys. It might be at this level on paper because of things like in hit is 13 frame Punisher is forward back to all time. That becomes always 13 frame. It's just like the electrics becoming always electric for them. So you can punish every upkick with 42 damage, which is and the gray health remove, which is insane. But it's way easier to say than to do. Okay, it's not an input that comes to you all the time because it's forward back, and it's only in hit. So you really have to be 99% with your brain into it. You need to take something like the guy in the Limitless movie if you watched it. What was the name? NZT, something like that. I don't remember, but yeah, something like that. But great character overall. Lee, very similar. On paper, it may be even better than Shaheen, and for sure better than Mishima's. Um, yes, I don't know. The best time frame Punisher in the game in 1333. At 11 frame, he has a hit engager in 444. At 13 frame, he has another hit engager in 444. What is not good at? I feel if you master Lee, his hit is almost useless because basically he made his just frames easy. But if you can already play Lee, you know, you will just get cheap damage in the end because you're already playing him. And if you do just frames, the hit bar becomes longer and longer if you do the inputs correctly. But like, if you already master that, you don't get much in hit. That may be his weak point. I feel his hit is might be the worst in the game. His hit smash also is minus 15, so it's good being a low, but it doesn't do much damage, and his mesh is so and so. But yeah, on paper, like the magic for still being 11 frame and it confirmable and so good with 444. Great punishers is down for 1 is amazing. Is down 2 is busted, to be honest. I crush and on counter grants 13 frame, so free hit. His wall combo is insane. Both if you can do the combo with the stomp or not, with the hitman up 4 or not. It still has great damage no matter what. This down for 2 is same as Shaheen, which is very good. Forward 33333 is a great with Punisher. That, for example, Shaheen miss. They're very similar characters. Shaheen is better in Tekken 8 mechanics. Like, he can, as I say, guard break. He can remove your gray bar. Lee is better in Tekken in general. That's the way I feel. His lights, well, Shane is better than Lee with his light, but Lee is safer. At some distance, Lee's light become like minus 12, minus 11. Shane, you can always launch if you block. Um, for while sending Punishers absolutely superiorly because of while sending to three. Punishers in general is superior, but Shine is easier. So very similar characters, harder but stronger, less hard but still strong. And then the other brother of them, Low, same thing. I really don't know who is better between them. Like Low for sure is the most offensive of the three. Let me just move them so they're all like similar. They all use slide well. Lee and Shane are probably more similar than Low itself, but Low like Shaheen like Lee has very good counter frame tools. Actually, even better than Lee because Lee yes has a good 10 frame counter it in 2-2-3, but you know Low has 1-1 which is a hit engager, and if I remember correctly, it's even full combo in counter. Low has better offensive thanks to the DSS from what standing for. You can go into slide. Uh, he has decent punishers as well. I think on par with Shaheen, you can say. Very similar when it comes to punishers. Low and Shaheen are very, very similar in that. Maybe Shaheen has a better 10 frame standing punisher than Low, but everything else, they are basically equivalent. Low has a better 12 frame in 3-4 than Shaheen 4-3, but everything else is basically the same. At least better than them in that. Counter game, Law is probably the best out of the third of the three. Shane the worst. But again, in Heat, I honestly don't know who is better. Range control, probably Shane is the best one for them. And also on tracking, Shane is the best one. He has a very good tracking for. I feel better than low back, even it's a little slower, but better. Well, Lee, no. Lee has a problem with he has 1+2, but it's low. So for the rest, Lee is very linear. That's maybe the hit and the tracking may be the worst things of Lee. But in general, these three are really, really very similar. All three are very similar. I was actually thinking maybe I should main all three of them because they can play very similar game. But some are better than other depending on the matchup. But in the end, I went with Alisa because I want something very a little different than Shane. But yeah, all of three are not very easy to use. All of them. Maybe Low or Shane are easier than me, but still they're very strong character. I just don't think they're at the level of the guys here. I feel these guys are strong. Who else we can put here? Probably we can put Paul. The problem with Paul is a lot of people, nobody use him basically, and I really feel in this game Paul, he might be a too defensive character in a game with aggressive because on paper Paul has nothing to envy of these guys, nothing. Especially his hit, like the smasher is broken, and one touch and you can die. Literally, is like the one touch, one punch man. Literally one punch man. But he's, I don't know. He cannot play aggressive in a game where aggressive is like the main thing, right? So it's very good the same because, as I said, one touch you can die. A character that can touch you and you die cannot be a weak character. It cannot be a weak character by definition. Because it only takes one move for him to actually win the round. So one mistake, you're dead. But I cannot put him at the level of this because his mechanics are not adapted well to the game like the others. He has a guard break, that's true, but that it's very easy to counterplay. You just have to walk left, even on a tech roll. It's not like Yoshi that is unavoidable. If it was unavoidable, it would be probably here, like him, but it's not. So you cannot just do that all time. It's very scary in arena, in red arena, because of the way it can literally launch you from center stage with a smasher. But if you are careful of 2, 3 moves, you can deal with Paul. The problem versus these guys, you cannot be careful of 1 or 2 or 3 moves, especially because one, they have more than 2 or 3 moves to be careful of, but also the moves they have, even if you block them, they don't have counterplay. Well, if you block Paul's Smasher, it's your turn. You understand what I mean? Like, if you block Dragunov run into, you still have to deal with Dragunov. If you block Dragunov back 4, you still have to deal with Dragunov. If you block Dragunov back 4-2, you still have to be careful of the third hit, and it's not even punishable. Do you really want to press? No. Majority of the time, no. So you still have to guess. You block Azucena down forward 1-4. Do you want to press? No. You block Azucena forward 4. Do you want to press? No. You block Dragunov Fang full crouch down forward 4. Do you want to press? No, because the one is coming. And even if it does the one, you cannot launch punish most of the time. Unless you are super ready. Super hard. With Paul, you can focus. Oh, if I block quarter school forward 3, I can punish him when it's 14. If I block this measure, I can punish him with something. You have counterplays. Okay? So easier. Even with the highest damage in the game. Viable and easy. Viable and easy Jack for sure. It's not a hard character. Very easy to use. And I feel in tournament it is very solid. Can be here with these guys. It's not Victor level in tournament, but is very strong. He has very good damage, and he forces you to guess. That's why he's strong in tournament, because the Jack player will know better than the opponent the mind game, most probably. So he can keep forcing you to guess. It's just that every time actually he has to risk much, even for a down back one. Every time you risk a hop kick. So you need to actually have a very strong mind. He's easy to use. He doesn't have anything hard when it comes to execution, but you need to have good mind game. So I don't feel like putting him above this, despite the fact that he has great things. Like, his throws are crazy good. His down back one is crazy good. His damage is way better than I expected, because when I saw the nerf from back one to into the Megaton Punch, I thought he didn't have much damage, but actually he has the same very good damage. So yeah, it's okay here. Claudio as well, very easy to use, very complete, very scary with hit, because if there is a wall that is breakable, or a balcony break, something like that, it's a full 50-50 between hit engager and the back one for a lancer. So yeah, very very good for that. I just feel he also has very good when he has hit burst, star burst. Sorry, he has down back 1+2. I think is the move that is very very strong. Safe mid lancer, crush a lot of things. So it is dangerous because of that, as always. Just like I said with Paul, the problem is if you're careful of few moves, you have counterplay. Even running to as it's not like Azucena or Dragunov, you can duck it. It has counterplay. 4-4-4 doesn't have much counterplay because it's only -1. But if you see that the Claudio likes to step after, you can do a tracking move. So you can play around him. That's why I can put him in viable. It might be actually on strong. Probably the main reason I don't put him on strong is he doesn't have, like, all of them as something that is very good in punishment. Like Eddie was any 1-3 and down for 1-3. Lars have the 14 frame launcher, yes, forward 2-4. Aliza not not very good, but 1-1 can give him access to change, and she's just super easy, and I cannot put her lower than this because of the cheap damage she has. Leo has Warseni for, Victor has the armor. They all have a peculiar thing that put them here. I don't feel the same with Claudio. Simply, I might be wrong. This is a subjective list, and we are just 3 months into the game. But yeah, I don't feel like putting anything above this, to be honest. It doesn't mean he's a lot weaker. Huh? It's just I don't feel it. And Other things that I have to consider. Oh, Warang actually, I think should be here. Warang is strong, but it's not easy. But it's very strong because of the way chip damage work in this game. He's a very aggressive character, so he loves the Tekken mechanics by definition. Plus, he has a 10 frame counter launcher in him. That's busted, literally busted. So I cannot put him lower than this. I cannot. I don't know why I like forgot him, but he's at the same level of these guys. Like you can see them. It's not because he's here is weaker. He's at the same level of these guys. Same level, absolutely. Now, Azuka and Leroy for sure. Also, here they're easy to use. Uh, Azuka, you might almost say she's not competitive because June exists, right? Uh, but actually they play a sort of difference. So it's not exactly like Kuma and Panda, and also Kuma, of course, is here. Is easy to use. He has tons of damage. Is a very strong tournament character because of the damage he has. Be careful with him. Um, like I know that you might think, oh, Jun is just a better Azuka. In a sort of way, yes, but they have some difference. Like the way Azuka play is more about, I feel more about plus frame than Jun, right? And more about plus frame or going YOLO, like with down one plus two and something like that. June is more about down three. Is more like on a safer way, less explosive, way less explosive, but way more control. And I think is the best style compared to Asuka. Leroy, I don't think is bad, like a lot of people think. Uh, I don't have that much experience to tell you why it's not above or under. Um, it's very hard to find Leroy's to play. But for what I've seen, it might lacking a little on the damage. Like if you want to do very good damage, you can, but you have to literally do movies. So actually, it might not be that easy. It was very easy before, but now I don't feel. I feel you have to master a little more, like the wall carry and the timings with everything. With the parry is way harder than before because parries are nerfed. Yes, he has a sabaki, but his down for one is not like before. This is a very big change. The fact that down for one of Leroy is not a generic one like before make him way harder by definition because he doesn't have a generic down for one like before. That's true. Um, all these characters also are in the same category. Okay, it doesn't matter. Brian is the weaker. I don't feel Brian is weaker. It might be Leroy only because of the definition, and Zafin is actually stronger than I thought at the beginning, especially after the buff she received. She is not bad at all. She is not bad at all. She's not top level, of course, but she's not bad at all. So I believe she's actually better than both Raven and Steve for sure. Might be better than Brian. Uh, I might actually bring Paul here. I feel they're kind of similar. So yeah, I think this might sort it. It doesn't mean, as I said before, like is Leroy weaker than Azuka because easier? No, like they're kind of all the same. Okay, all of the guys here. I try to make them a little in order, but you have to understand we are really talking about minimum things like decimal. Okay, like uh, if Dragunov is a 10, okay, Dragunov is a 10. Azucena can be a 9. Fang can be a 9 as well. King might be 8.9. Like it's not that for me Dragunov is way above the rest. But these are very close. Like this might be actually 8.4, 8.5. Well, actually, I might put her here. Uh, but like this guy, it might be actually a 9, just like Fang. Nina, probably it's 9.2 even if it's after Yoshi. But because Yoshi is still easier than Nina, I still put him in front. But it's subjective. I cannot give you something that is like the gospel, or it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. So uh, this is a subjective list, and I hope can create some debate on you. In EVO Japan, literally, it's so hard to think, to predict who is going to win anything. But um, I might expect to see for tournaments character in top 8 Dragunov and Azucena and Fang and King for sure. Like, it's easier that at least one of these four makes it to top 8. Because one, there are a lot of players with these guys. Japan is full of kings. And two, they're actually very strong. But that doesn't mean like that we will not see an Azucena or Arena or Arena or a Ling or a Nina. They're actually very strong. A Victor. Victor is very strong in tournament. I for sure I can see more Victor than Leo. But doesn't mean that Leo is weaker. I don't feel. I just feel in tournament maybe Victor is more dangerous in a first to two. But a Leo specialist for me is way more dangerous than a Victor specialist. Even to face in tournament. So everything is a little subjective, you see. But thanks for the video of today. I hope to hear your opinion as well about this. And catch you soon. Bye bye.